So we come into the relationship, the seller comes in, he or she is focused on the social exchange, forming a relationship, a bond that hopefully will allow them to win my business. They want to close a deal, and what the buyer is usually worried about is close the deal and then move on to the next one. The buyers, however, are not focused on the interaction with the seller. They're focused on post-sale performance. They're focused on the aftermath of the decision. How are my internal clients going to take this? Did I do good against my competition? You know, did I make the right decision for this? All those, you know, stressful reasons that I mentioned on the previous slide. So the buyers focus on the aftermath of the purchase and the seller's ability to live up to the promises and the representations that they've made during the process. They're more concerned with the task than the social aspect of the interaction, and that's a very important distinction because buyers make purchase decisions very differently when they represent their company than they do when they're making personal buying decisions. And a lot of sellers are trained, you've bought a car before, you know what it feels like to be a buyer. Well, no you don't. It's a very different experience just because of all these other stressors. Let's go over to the board and I'll give you a little sense for what I'm talking about. Here's my representation of the buyer-seller relationship. This is kind of sad given that I had a lot of time to prepare this. But here's Sellco, and this is our seller, and here's Buyco. This is the buying organization and the person charged with dealing with this particular sales rep. Is what happens in simple terms is that the seller comes into this relationship focused on the buyer. They've been trained to form a relationship, how to socialize, take them to dinner, win them over as a friend and a buddy, and build rapport, and get them comfortable with doing business with them. So to the seller, the relationship or the sales process, if you will, really focuses in the center. It focuses on the buying representative and the seller. Now, because of all the things that I recently mentioned, the buyer, however, they're focused internally into their organization to see how this purchase is going to impact them. There's the financial overseers, financial goals that they have to live up to. The marketing folks want their pound of flesh. They want to make sure that the product or purchase or software, whatever they happen to be buying, lives up to their expectations and the image that the corporation wants. And then there's all the operational folks. All the operational folks, the end users, human resources or IT, or all the internal people that have to live with this or deal with the outcomes as well. So the seller, or the buyer, forgive me, is focused here. Now, some of your more sophisticated sales training programs recognize this. So a lot of solutions-based or consultative-based sales training programs try to get the salesperson to get past the gatekeeper, as they call this person often. This gatekeeper might be a vice president of operations, but nevertheless, you got to get past them, find out all the other influencers they talk about, and help persuade them as well. Well, here's the issue with that. In my experience, this person, let's call him the VP of operations, has very little benefit by letting you pass them, to letting you see behind the curtain until they are absolutely convinced that you're the person, that you can not only provide the right product or service, but that you have the support of your company in providing it, so that, again, for all those aftermath, for all those post-purchase decisions, they want to make sure that you can live up to your promises and representations.